The R20A is an incredible video intercom from Accuvox. And in today's video, we are going to show you how to install this and set it up at your home or business. Today, we're going to focus on setting this up as a standalone device, but be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us across social media because we do have additional setup videos coming out, including how to set up the R20 with your current access control system. But today, we are going to focus on three main topics: installing and wiring your R20, configuring the R20 from the web interface, and using the R20 from your mobile device. So without further ado, let's jump right in. All right, before we take this thing to the install site, let's take a closer look at this. You can see on the front, there's not a whole lot going on here. We have the camera at the top. This is a 2 megapixel camera. We also have a microphone for two-way audio. Underneath that, we have our RFID card reader, which will read proximity cards, and we have our push button where someone can ring the bell. At the bottom, we have our speakers for two-way audio, for doorbell tones, and that kind of thing. But let's flip this thing over to the back, and we can check out the wiring that we have. So right in the middle in the back, we have this Ethernet port. This intercom does support PoE. So if you connect this to a PoE switch, then you have the ability to connect your device to your network and to power using an Ethernet cable. If you don't have a PoE switch, we do have our ground wire and our 12-volt wire up here, so you can hardwire this to power as well. Underneath the power terminal, we have our Wiegand data, our D0 and D1. So if we are using this as a proximity reader in a current access control system, these are the terminals that we'll use. We won't get to that in this video, but again, we will have more videos down the line that shows you how to work with those. Underneath the Wiegand terminals, we have door A, ground, and door B. This is for request to exit devices, maybe push buttons or PIR sensors. And you'll see door A and door B. That's because this intercom can control up to 2 different locks on 2 doors. And then on the other side, we have more terminals here. This is for our relay A and our relay B, where we will wire our locks. If we have 2 locks, we will wire them into either normally closed or normally open A, as well as normally closed and normally open B. However, in this video, we are only going to be working with 1 door and 1 lock just to make things simple. So we will only be using the bottom 3 relay A connections. And that's everything we need to know before getting started. So let's go install our intercom. All right, so here we are in our warehouse just outside the door where we're going to be installing this intercom. You can see we already have the bracket installed. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just screw this into your wall. And we also have a small square cut out of the wall where we have our cables running. You can see we do have 3 cables coming out of the wall here, but we're actually only going to be using 2 of them. First, we have our Ethernet cable. This runs from our door here to the PoE switch located inside the production room. And this is simply going to connect our R20 intercom both to power and to our network. Our PoE switch is connected to our internet router, but you do not have to have internet in order to install your R20A. You could just have this connected to a local area network instead of having a full internet connection. The second cable that we're going to be using is this simple 4-strand low voltage wire, and we are going to use these wires to connect the R20 to our magnetic lock. And here is the magnetic lock that we have installed on the door here. It simply has 2 wires, a positive wire and a negative wire, which we will use here in a little bit to wire this into our intercom. So let's go ahead and get this guy wired. I'm going to be doing it here, and I will also throw some diagrams up on the screen to make it a little easier to understand. Now, since we are going to be wiring this with a maglock, we want this to be a normally closed circuit. That's because we want the maglock to always be receiving power, because when it's powered, that's when the lock is going to be engaged. Then when we push an exit button, when we swipe an RFID card here, when we let someone in with our cell phone, we're going to want that circuit to be broken. So this is a normally closed circuit. If we look at our wiring diagram, that means we're going to want to wire our intercom with the NC terminal as well as the COM terminal. And we have 2 wires here. The red wire is going to go into the NC terminal, and the black wire is going to go into the common terminal. To do that, I'm just going to get this lined up, insert my red wire. Then once I have it about halfway in there, I'm just going to push down on this switch with my screwdriver. That's going to open up that terminal. and allow me to push it in there all the way. Once it's in there, I can go ahead and release that. And my wire should be in there nice and tight. I'm going to do the same thing with my black wire in the second terminal, which is the common terminal. Push down on the switch, make sure your wire is nice and tight in there, and release it. The last thing I'm going to do here at the intercom is take my Ethernet cable and plug it in. And from there, we are going to be good to go. So I'm going to put these cables back in the wall and attach this onto the mounting bracket. And here we are at the other end of these cables. We have these 3 cables coming out of the wall here, our Ethernet cable, which is the easiest. We'll save that for last. We have our 2-strand low voltage cable and our 4-strand low voltage cable. The 2-strand is currently running to our maglock. The 4-strand is running to our intercom. Even though we have 4 here, we're actually only going to be using 2. So let's bend the green and the white wires out of the way for now. And now we have a positive and a negative, and a positive and a negative. We also have our 12-volt DC adapter here. Wiring this is going to be super simple. We are going to put the 2 negative wires together. We are going to wire the positive wire from the maglock into the positive terminal on the adapter. And we are going to wire the positive wire from the intercom into the negative terminal on the adapter. And there we go. This thing is now wired and ready to go. And again, the R20 does get powered with PoE. So this little adapter here is only for the maglock. That's what's going to supply power to the lock. Now let's get everything plugged in and set up. So here is my Ethernet cable running to the intercom. Here is my PoE switch, and I'm just going to plug this in. And there we go. That intercom is now connected to our network, and it should be connected to power. Let's go verify that. And as we can see here, our intercom is booting up. The light is on the RFID reader, and our button is blinking here, letting us know that it's powering up. It is connecting to the network. Next, we have our maglock to power up, which is as simple as connecting it to a 12-volt DC power supply. And there we go. Now let's confirm that this lock is properly working. All right, beautiful. We have a working maglock. We have a working intercom on the outside. Let's hop on the computer, get on the web interface, and configure everything. To log into our intercom's web interface, we first need the IP address. To do that, just download and install this program from our website, and it will pull all of the AccuVox products on your network. So I'm just going to type this IP address into a web browser, and it brings me right to the login page. The default login is admin for both the username and password, and we're in. Now you can see there are a ton of menus and options to mess around with here. Most of this goes beyond the scope of this video. Today all we are going to do is set up a proximity card for our intercom. If we click on the phone menu and click door log, we can see a list of all of the events that happened at our door. Right now it's empty because this is a brand new product, but I'm going to go out there and scan this proximity card. And you can see, obviously, nothing happened. We haven't registered any cards yet. But if we go back to this door log, it doesn't update in real time, so we do need to click on this again. There we go. We can now see that I tried to open this door with the proximity card. So let's add this card to the intercom so I can successfully open that door. To do this, we're going to come into intercom and click card setting. Now, before we make any changes here, we do need to change the card status. Right now you can see the card status is normal. That just means the reader is attempting to read cards. But since we are going to be issuing a new card number, we need to change the status from normal to card issuing mode. Once we do that, we can come down here to the card setting where we will input our new card. We can either type this in manually if we know the code, or we can click this obtain button to grab it automatically. And you can see that number populated right away. That's because the intercom remembered that I just tried to scan that card. So now it's going to pull that in as the key code, and I can go ahead and click add. But if we hadn't scanned any cards yet, let me go ahead and get rid of this and click obtain. You can see that the intercom is now waiting for a card to be scanned. Let me run back out there and scan this. And there we go. It once again pulled that code in, and I can go ahead and click add. Now down here in the door card management table, we can see our new card. Let's say I wanted to put a name in there so I know who this card belongs to. I can click this little checkbox, and when I do that, that code pops right back up in the IC code input box. Now I can make any changes that I need to. For instance, I can type Tyler in here. So if I click edit, it will simply make those changes to the card that we already have. And there we go. Now I'm going to hop back into the door log, phone, door log, and I'm going to go scan my card again, and we will see what happens.
Welcome, please come in.
And perfect, the card worked, it unlocked the door, and I now have it in this log here, so I can easily see at a glance who is accessing my door and when. Now let me show you how easy this is to operate on your cell phone. I just opened the Smart Plus application. This is all associated with your AccuVox cloud account. So any device that you have added to your cloud account is going to automatically show up on this application when you log in. There's no extra configuration you need to do from your phone. This makes it super easy for your clients because you can just set up a cloud account for them, send them an email with a QR code. All they have to do is open up their cell phone and scan that QR code, and it logs them in right away. There's no password, there's no logging in, everything is streamlined and as easy as possible. And then once you open the application, you can see that everything is one click away. There's not a system of endless menus that you have to go through. It'll just show all of your devices right here on the home screen. Right now we only have one device set up, and that is this Nellie's device. That's the R20 I set up earlier. So let me show you what all we can do with this. There are two different kinds of interactions you can have between your phone and the R20. You can have a mobile initiated interaction where you open the application and take action with one of these three buttons here, or you can have an intercom initiated interaction where someone at the intercom pushes the button and it gives you a notification on your cell phone. Let me show you what we have here first. We have these three buttons, and they're all pretty self-explanatory. We have open door, call, and monitor. Open door, it's exactly what it sounds like. You can see here's the door that we have. Outside this door is the intercom, and right now this is locked tight. That mag lock is engaged. But if I come in here and click open door, it's going to ask me which door I want to open. Again, the R20A can hold up to two doors. We only have one door right now in relay 1. It says trying to open door, succeeded. I open it up and you can hear at the intercom there is a welcome message letting whoever is out there know that the door is now open. And then if I shut that again, it's immediately locked. That mag lock is once again engaged. From my cell phone, I can also initiate a call. This is going to send a call to the intercom out there. The intercom will automatically answer the call. Nobody has to press a button or anything like that. And you can see we have video. We can see whoever's out there. There is two-way audio, so we'll be able to communicate. And we have these actions down here at the bottom. We can hang up the call, we can open the door, or we can mute the microphone. And you can see in the top corner of the app, you can see yourself on here, but the R20 has no screen, so this isn't going to be two-way video, only audio. I'm going to go ahead and hang up this call. And the last option that we have here on our phone is monitor. If we click this, it's just going to pull the video feed from the intercom. This isn't initiating a phone call or anything like that. So there's no two-way audio happening, no communication. It just allows you to see what's going on at the site of your intercom. And from here, we can take a screen capture, which we'll save into our files on this app. We can open our door, or we can initiate a call right here from the monitor screen. One more thing I want to show you from this mobile app is what happens when somebody initiates a call from the intercom. So if I go ahead and push this button, you'll see that I get a notification on my phone. If I click that notification, it takes me right to this screen where I can perform whatever action I need to. I can open the door, I can answer the call, ignore the call, or take a recording. I'm going to go ahead and ignore the call. And that is how to set up and use the R20A video intercom from AccuVox. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned a thing or two. Again, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us across social media because we have more videos coming out soon on the R20 and the rest of the products in our AccuVox product line. Be sure to check the links in the description if you are interested in learning more about these products, and thanks for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.